question, the member from Haldimand, Norfolk.
Premier, some of us are puzzled about media reports on today's budget, a budget being tabled 2 months earlier than usual. In December 2013, a government panel proposed to hike gas taxes up to 10 cents a litre across the land. That dampened Christmas spirit faster than Scrooge stealing presents. People in rural, northern, right across Ontario don't have alternatives to driving. They can't afford higher gas taxes. In spite of the panel's recommendation, Premier Wynne eventually said there would not be a gas tax.
She broke a promise.
Now, 2 years later, we have suggestions of a new gas tax sold as a carbon tax, sold as a carbon trading, a cap and trading system of tax. Premier, you said no gas tax.
Question.
Are you now bringing in a gas tax?
Well, Mr. Speaker, this party, their asks that they've put forward in terms of the budget are completely inconsistent, but here's consistency, Mr. Speaker. This is a party that has no interest in dealing with climate change, that has no plan to deal with climate change, regardless what the leader says that they think that it's a big challenge. There's no plan. There's no acceptance of the reality that you actually have to take action if you're going to tackle climate change, Mr. Speaker. So the reality is we are putting a cap and trade system in place, Mr. Speaker. There will be mitigations. In fact, we expect that there may be a 4 cent or 4.3 cent on average increase in gas, Mr. Speaker. But in fact, in terms of the cost of electricity, for example, we expect that there could be a reduction in the cost of electricity as a result of cap and trade, Mr. Speaker. But we have to tackle climate change. The cost of not tackling climate change are far, far greater than the cost.
Thank you. Supplement.
Well, my point, 13 years ago after the election, we all realized, hang on to your wallet. In relatively short order, Premier Ginty brought in largest income tax increase in the history of Ontario. So-called health tax. He promised no new taxes. 2007, he did it again. He broke his promise. Largest consumption tax.
Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing.
The HNT. Now the Wynne budget, the stampede, a cap and trade tax, a reported 4.3 cent tax on a litre of gas, and that's just at the wholesale level. What extra tax on gas will we pay retail? After markups, after the HST, what are we going to pay at the pumps? 2 years ago, Premier Wynne said no gas tax. Is this an early budget just to sidestep public consultation, sneak in your gas
Question.
to break your promise of no gas tax, essentially to lie to the people of Ontario?
Be seated, please. Be seated. The member will withdraw.
I withdraw.
And now I am going to warn everyone, if this continues a trend, I will name. It's not going to happen. Premier.
Energy and climate change.
Thanks.
Environment, sorry. Environment and climate change.
Minister of the Environment and Climate Change.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I have to commend the opposition. We've finally seen them show their true colors. The leader of the opposition, Mr. Speaker, for 10 years...
The member will withdraw.
Withdraw.
Carry on.
As I said, I have to compliment the opposition for showing their true colors finally. Because this little be anything you want to be to anybody who will ask you a question has been just too cute by half, Mr. Speaker. The leader of the opposition spent 10 years in Ottawa as a leading voice in a government that sabotaged every single international climate change initiative and will go down in history as the lost decade of climate change. Now the official opposition has said they can deal with climate change with no price on carbon. Even though in British Columbia and Quebec, when they put a price on carbon, they stopped all of its increases.
Thank you. Thank you. The member from Prince Edward Hastings is second.